Hey everybody, I'm Luke.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Dan.
And I am getting married in a couple of weeks, and we thought that we would celebrate by taking a little road trip. We are headed down to the Florida Keys, and we thought while we're there, we would take the time to teach you all
some key lessons. Get it? The Keys. We're gonna be in the Keys. Bam! 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 Coming straight to you from Isla Mirada, here comes some tarpon fishing. Hillbilly hand fishing at its finest. Alright, get this.
Warum nicht?
Ow! Luke, I might do it again here for you.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Dan, I would look if I were you, because you're going to want to pull it back.
No. Oh, he was coming for it. No.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm not loving this.
Yep.
Come on, dangle it in the water. Come on, Luke.
Come on. No, don't be a wimp. No, don't move it.
I'm throwing it in his mouth when he gets
Nope.
close.
Let him get the whole hand. Stick it down there. Come on, son. Come on.
Close.
No. No dropping.
No, I'm letting
No dropping. I want your hand in the fish's mouth. You
Dude,
suck.
they only draw a little blood. You're good.
In this clip, you saw the three of us at this place called Robbie's. And off the dock at Robbie's, there just so happens to be an abundance of these giant tarpon that are swimming around. And people come from all over the place to feed these tarpon. You just buy a bucket of fish and you go off the end of the dock and you wave one of those little fish out over the water, and these giant tarpon come jumping up out of the water to grab these fish. And you saw Mark and you saw Dan hold their fish out over there, and you saw these giant tarpon come up out of there and snatch that fish right out of their hand, and then you saw me chicken out. Now, what you do not see in this video are two very important facts. The first one is that tarpon do not have regular teeth. They have more of a kind of a sandpaper thing going on in their mouths. And the second thing that you missed is that Mark and Dan knew this ahead of time. They failed to tell me this until after we had left. But I've got to tell you, even with knowing that, I'm still a little bit embarrassed by how intimidated I was by these fish. I mean, I've done some crazy things in my life. I like to think that I'm brave. I've even jumped out of an airplane once, but I was really scared of holding my hand out over that water and feeding those fish. It took a lot of courage to be able to feed those fish, and on that day I didn't have it. Makes me think a lot about our faith. It takes a lot of courage to let the world see our faith as well. I know I've had times in my life where I just wanted to be a closet Christian. I didn't want anybody else to know. I was happy to say a prayer at night or read a little bit of my Bible before I went to bed, but I didn't want anybody else to know that I was a Christian. Luckily, in the Bible we have so many passages that remind us otherwise. And one of those more famous passages comes from the book of Romans chapter 1, where Paul says one of his more famous lines when he says this: "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to those who believe." I am not ashamed of the gospel. It's easy for us to be a little bit intimidated. It's natural for us to be a little bit scared about letting the world see our faith. After all, it didn't go over real well for Jesus. It didn't go over real well for his disciples. It is not the fast track to popularity, but it is the fast track to a life lived with joy and with wholeness. Let the world see your faith. There's an expression that says something like this: of 100 people, one might read the Bible, the other 99 are going to read the Christian. The world is watching us, and they need to see us living out our faith. They need to see us boldly proclaiming God's name and living out the love that God has gifted us with. This world desperately needs that love, and the only way they are ever going to know it is if you are brave enough to step out on that limb and let the world see it in you. Proclaim that faith. Do not be ashamed of it. Embrace it and let the world know that you are a follower of Jesus.